together for the music team, always keeping it hot on a winter's day here at CSL Dallas. And we want to say thank you for joining us. No matter where you are in the world, we're grateful you're here in community with us today. And as a reminder, each day is an opportunity to make a meaningful change. We come together for inspiration, education, and especially celebration. And all this month, we're learning how to live from the inside out. So let's get it started by putting your hands together for the CSL Dallas music team.
Oh, you know you feel that. We have come here to love one another. We have come here to let our love show. We are family, we're sisters and brothers, and we carry this love everywhere that we go. Whoa, 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 whoa. We have come here to love one another. We have come here to let our love show. We have family, we're sisters and brothers, and we carry this love everywhere that we go. We carry this love. We carry this love. We carry this love. We carry this love everywhere that we go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yes, we have come here to love one another. We have come here to let our love show. We are family, we're sisters and brothers, and we carry this love everywhere that we go. We carry this love. We carry this love. We carry this love. We carry this love everywhere that we go. Sing it again. We carry this love. We carry this love. We carry this love. We carry this love everywhere that we go. We carry this love. We carry this love. We carry this love. We carry this love everywhere that we go.
Good morning, CSL Dallas. Good morning in the sanctuary. It's great to have you here with us. Good morning to you streaming with us online. We're so pleased to be together on this brisk and chilly morning this morning in DFW. My name's Joe Tinker. I'll be your platform assistant this morning, kind of dialing in a few of the things that we have coming up here at CSL Dallas. And we're very pleased to be together this morning. First of all, let us affirm who we are together with our purpose statement, which says that we are radically inclusive, spiritually progressive, transforming lives, and so it is. And the whole thing got started with our founder, Ernest Holmes, and today is a celebration of his birthday. Happy birthday, Ernest Holmes. Let's sing it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Ernest Holmes. Happy birthday to you. One more time. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Ernest Holmes. Happy birthday to you.
Awesome, awesome. All right, here's something you need to be tracking. If you are not yet a member of CSL Dallas, do you know that you are missing out on some valuable opportunities when you are not yet a member of CSL Dallas? You can learn more about what it means to become a member at CSL Dallas by attending our upcoming new member orientation. This is where we explain more about the organization at CSL Dallas and how it works. Most importantly, you discover opportunities, how you can share your gifts and talents, how you can make an impact here in our community. Help make this a spiritual home, welcoming for everyone, and where you've carved out your own place and how to be in the world and at CSL Dallas. So we're offering an in-person and online opportunity with this new member orientation. It's going to be at 12 noon Central Standard Time on Sunday, February 4th. So coming up pretty quick. If you're not a member yet, check this out. It's your turn to figure out how that works. Also, now's a great time to remind you that we will be having our annual member meeting. This is an awards and potluck and a meeting, a little bit of business that has to take place. It's coming up February 18th, and it will follow the service on Sunday. We'll follow the Sunday service right after the Sunday celebration. This is a great time to learn more about the life of our community, like where we've been and where we're going, shaping the goals for the future of CSL Dallas, and helping us make important decisions together. It gives us also a chance to fill our leadership roles and get to know some of the people who are stepping up into leadership. And members attending the meeting will be voting for the candidates of their choice for positions in leadership at CSL Dallas, and all the while enjoying a delicious potluck dish. So find out about this even more by visiting our website and going to the events calendar at csldallas.org. Now, whether you're joining us today for the first time or you've been a regular attendee and you've been visiting or knowing about CSL Dallas for years and years, you are very welcome here today. We hope you feel that way. However you found us, we'd love to stay in touch with you. And so we're asking you to stay in the know by following us on social media, leave us a Google review, and you can also find a piece of paper that looks like this towards the back of the sanctuary. If you're not receiving text and email information from CSL Dallas, fill out the Connect card. That way you can stay in the know of everything that's coming up and opportunities for you to hook up with your own spiritual living. Now, let's settle into this morning with our music team. We've got Candy, Cleo, Valerie, and Denise here on the podium with us, and then we're going to go within with our practitioner, Jim Barron. Thank you.
Be the peace that you want to see. Be joy and be harmony. Hold light for those who do not see. Have faith for those who don't believe. Be all you want to see. For you are peace that you want to see. Be joy and be harmony. Hold light for those who do not see. Have faith for those who don't believe. Be all you want to see. For you are love.
invite you to settle in, be here on campus, online. Close your eyes if you're comfortable with that, and settle in. Let's take a time to get centered right here and right now. Take a breath in and relax. And know that you are love. You are that divine love, that cosmic love, that energy, that love that pervades absolutely everything and sweeps around the universe and takes you up. That's irresistible. That kind of love, that deep, deep love. That love that moves the seas, that creates life. That deep love that's within you always and can never be taken away. And know that you and I, we have a choice. Every time we wake up, we have a choice and a chance, that moment, in that very moment, to take that up, to recognize that we are loved, to feel that love, and move forward with it. Oh, what a beautiful thing to be able to do. And with that love we bring up, we are also infused with and open up to peace, harmony, joy. We take that in, let that flow through us just like the seas and waves float through the planet. Let that come within us, know that, hold faith in that, and let it move out from us to everybody else. For the beauty is we can relish in the thought and the knowingness that we are here to be loved. We're here to be love, give love, and receive love. That's what we're all about. That's the baseline. Know that, center in that. And for those who don't see, believe for them. Be the light for them. Take that with you. Hold that. Help them understand and feel that. And release anything that's come before, because what yesterday was for you is not today. That's not who you are. Today you are love, and always love, and carry that forward. Before you walk out that door, put a smile on your face and carry that with you and share it broadly and brightly. Be that bright light. And know this truth and those beautiful words in the song that peace can rule the world, can move the seas, and we can experience that with love. Hold that love and be that love. And please join me in knowing this for yourself, that you are love, and claim that as so by saying together with me, and so it is.
Be the peace that you want to see. Be joy and be harmony. Hold light for those who do not see. Have faith for those who don't believe. Be all you want to see. For you are love. For It's a new day, y'all. Did ya know? If you don't mind me saying, I got to just say this song that I get to sing to you now is when I found out it was a new day. And no matter what break happened, I wasn't broken. I hadn't written much in years prior to this, and I was given this song. So I get to give it to you. When you break open to love, how about that? Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Captured by questions, lost in my yesterday, watching my life just walk on by. And I was thinking, somebody save me, please. Somebody show me the way. I'm tired of walking blind and broken-hearted, feeling left behind like I can't get started. Then I open my eyes, I realize I'm alive, and my heart breaks open to love, and I love so truly, and I truly love who I am, and I am open to love. Oh yeah. Trust was a stranger, faith was a foreign word. Where was that girl I used to be? See, I think she's sinking. That girl who laughed so loud, that girl who lived so free. Well, she had to grow through the fire so she could go even higher. And I'm brighter now, I'm lighter now, and I can see that my heart breaks up into love, and I love so truly, and I truly love who I am, and I am open to love. Oh, 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 yes, I am. My heart breaks open to love, and I love so freely, and I freely give who I am, and I am open to love. I'm open to love. Oh, I'm open to love. It's a melody. It's a brand new thing, and it's leading me to love and more love. Thank you very much. Open to love. That is what we are all about every week. Thank you, Matthew, Jonathan, and Brad. Whew. Thank you, Matt, Brad, I don't know. I love that song, Candy, and the line that gets me every time I hear it. Like all the way through, I'm like, oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Oh, yeah, that. And then I had to go through the fire to grow higher. Like, oh, yeah, that's it. Like, I don't think I hear anything after that. At that point, I'm just, kind of letting that soak in with the music. And this month, that's what we're doing here. We're not necessarily going through the fire, but we are definitely focused on growing higher. And is it the other way around, growing through the fire to go higher? Is it? I mean, that's kind of in my life the way that it works. So this month, if you've been following us online or here on campus, you know that we are, as we often do in January, focusing on the basic principles, the basic ideas and concepts that are the foundation for science of mind, a faith, a philosophy, and a way of life. And Dr. Petra has been, in the first couple of weeks, really introducing what is this idea of science of mind, and we're playing with science of consciousness. Like, oh, what if we started taking it in? Like, this is the science of consciousness and how it works in our lives and how we can apply it in order to have a life that is most fulfilling. And what are the 10 principles that we teach in Science of Mind? And how do we talk about and think about the practices that allow us to actually not just know the principles, but integrate them into our lives? And when we look at the principles, what are some of the methods that we can use that allow us, or that really prepare us to go even deeper? And so all of that really is a focus in the month of January on education. Educating ourselves about who we are and what that means. So we've already talked about several of the principles and practices, and I'm going to remind you of those. But I want you, especially if this is your first time engaging in this conversation this month, I want to make sure that we are on the same page. Now, some of you are like, Dr. Petra already reminded us what a principle is. And others of you are like, I took your universal spiritual principles and practices class, Tracy. I know what a practice is. But we want to make sure everybody is working from the same definition, and that it's the foundation for everything that you begin to take in during the remainder of our time together today. So the CSL definition of principle that we are using in all of our courses now is this one. And if you are able to see this clearly, I invite you to read it out loud along with me, because you will have another impression of it. So a CSL definition of principle is a fundamental truth or proposition that serves as the foundation for a system of belief or behavior, or for a chain of reasoning. Take a deep breath. So we're not just using the word principle like in theory or just kind of flippantly. We understand when we say the word principle that it's a fundamental truth or proposition. It's not an opinion. It's not going to be different for Joe than it is for me or than it is for Kathy. It is a fundamental truth, and it serves as the foundation for our beliefs. And a practice is this, and yes, please read it with me. The actual application or use of an idea or belief as opposed to, it's not just a theory, it is the application of that theory. It is seeing how that theory is demonstrating in your life or in the world we live in. And so the practice is something that we do to make it real or to make it relevant, to make it apply to our own understanding of the world. So you've got principles and you've got practices, and our practices are not one-on-one connected to each principle. So it is not that, oh, the principle is a oneness and the one practice you do is meditate. No. So practices can be attached to different principles. You could have the same practice and it might apply, or you might be using it to apply 3 or 4 of the different principles. So when we talk about practices, to help that make sense for us, we also say that our practices are methods, so that we use them in a methodical way. And so again, I invite you to read with me. A definition of a method is a systematic procedure, technique, or mode applied to practice principles. Okay, you got it? Oh, this is not encouraging. Well, you're going to hear it again next week, because that's our commitment this month, to define principle and practice and method so that for the rest of the year you have better clarity about what you're knowing and then what you are doing. So we are going to focus on how do we use all these things, but I was taking notes the last couple of weeks and checking off which are the principles and practices that Dr. Petra has already encouraged us to know about and to begin to use. So we've already talked about love, the principle of love, the principle of creation, the principle of the threefold nature of universal intelligence. We've talked about the creative process and a little bit of an introduction into spiritual laws, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more today. And the practices spent in the first 2 weeks of the month talking about practicing the presence and using methods in order to practice the presence, methods like meditation, a method of being mindful or mindfulness. We also have done a little bit. Last week, Petra made some very powerful and important comments about sacred study and how, as a practice, sacred study is really foundational to our growth and our learning and our then being able to apply, because we have studied what it means and then we are able to apply it in our lives. And some examples of sacred study, of course, would be reading or would be taking a class, discussing the sacred writing in your prayer group or in your Sangha, those kinds of things where you're taking the information but you're really studying it, not just hearing someone on Sunday talk about it from the platform. So how do we use these principles and these practices? I'm going to spend a big chunk of my time with you today on one particular practice, and that's spiritual mind treatment. But in the context of the principle, which is the principle of the
spiritual laws working, like the spiritual law is always working, but how then do we use it? So let me get my hands free. Spiritual mind treatment. So if you're online, put a me or a hand in the chat. If you're in the room, I'm just going to invite you to stand up. Have you ever taken a class to learn how to do or to understand what spiritual mind treatment is? Please stand if you're in the room. Please indicate in chat. So about a little more than half, maybe 60% of the people in the room, you may be seated. I'm not going to call on you. I'm not going to say, oh, what are the 5 steps of treatment? And, oh, when was that time you took that class and you don't remember? So a spiritual mind treatment, it's the single most important practice in science of mind. A lot of times what we share with folks is that, Ernest Holmes himself said he didn't create anything new. He synthesized, after studying all of the major religious and spiritual paths, he synthesized what is the common message that the mystics from all the traditions keep going to or go back to again and again. And so we often will say science of mind is a synthesis. It's not new information. It's a synthesis of the common understanding of the truth of life and how the universe works from a mystical philosophical point of view. But the one thing, or one of the things that is very unique about science of mind is this idea of spiritual mind treatment. Is there anyone in the room or online who has gone to the doctor in the last 6 months and received treatment for your health? Yes, you could raise your hand. You could say yes out loud. We are not a silence congregation. So when we talk about spiritual mind treatment, we are saying that we can use our mind, our capital M mind, our spiritual mind, to treat conditions that we are experiencing in our human world. And not just physical conditions, but mental and emotional conditions as well. Spiritual mind treatment is a process of applying principle to whatever is going on and or whatever it is you want to create in your life. It is a treatment for a condition that you want to change. Please listen to the next thing I am going to say. Conditions do not have to be bad or broken for you to want to change them. I have a great life. I want to have an even better life. That means I want the condition to change from good to great, from great to greater, from greater to best possible. So please don't confuse the word condition with broken. I went to a doctor's appointment December 22nd, and I was feeling fine. It was a checkup, and the doctor recommended some treatments for wellness and for my best health to represent itself. I did not go to the doctor because I had pain, injury, illness, disease. Well, okay, maybe I have disease, but I don't know, right? But I'm not in the hospital, That is not the only time you go to your doctor. When things are not working, if you have a great doctor and if you're focused on health. I go to my chiropractor. I go to my acupuncturist for a treatment. And maybe I have a little pain in my shoulder. And I'm like, hey, can y'all help me out? Like, make this pain go away, because we have chiropractors in the room. But can you make this pain go away? Because I don't want it to be a bigger pain. I don't want to be disabled by it in a way that I can't work or I can't enjoy my life. So I have to say all of that because so often people in classes will be like, oh, well, I didn't ask for a spiritual mind treatment because, you know, it wasn't that bad. Or I didn't ask for a spiritual mind treatment. I mean, you know, my life's going okay. No, when you understand why this is our practice, then you understand that science of mind is actually, we are part of a healing order because we know that spiritual mind treatment reveals the truth, and that means our life begins to look like it is healed. Okay, so that's like my lecture. I'm really not supposed to be talking about that, but every time I say spiritual mind treatment, it's like, wait, give it some context, because I want you to understand. The second paragraph, or the third paragraph on the slide reads, spiritual mind treatment uses the creative process to direct spiritual laws to heal or change conditions. This is what is happening. So if you go to a practitioner or spiritual coach in our community and you ask for prayer, the type of prayer we do is affirmative prayer using the form of spiritual mind treatment. It is the most important practice that we have in science of mind. One more question for you. Is there anyone who has received a spiritual mind treatment from someone else or has done their own spiritual mind treatment and you actually experienced a change in the condition? TSRW, yes. Okay, so in some ways I'm preaching to the choir. Many of you raised your hands and you know that it works. For those of you who did not raise your hand, I cannot emphasize enough that if you really want to see spiritual mind treatment work, if you want to see these principles that we are talking about work in your life, either learn to do spiritual mind treatment or every Sunday, online or in person after service, have a practitioner or spiritual coach do prayer with you so that you can feel the universe shift and open the door for what you want to happen. So the principle of, or the practice of spiritual mind treatment is the main one that I want to focus on today, because it is so critical that you understand it and that you use it so that it can work in your life. Spiritual mind treatments, it's an act, it's an art, it's a science, it's all of those. Just like when we say science of mind is a faith, a philosophy, and a way of life, it's all three of those. A spiritual mind treatment, it is an act, it's something we do. There is an art to it of matching the right spiritual principles that will help to lead you to the healing or the change of condition that you are requesting. And there is a science to it. There is a process to it that it gives us the form that actually is what helps it work, because it helps us get out of the way and align with universal spiritual principle in all of its forms. And what is it showing us in terms of, like another way to talk about it, spiritual mind treatment is intentional manifestation. Now, I'm not calling any names, but I know there are some people within the sound of my voice who are all over the law of attraction. I believe in the law of attraction. It is a law. It is a spiritual law, and it works. And if you are all into the law of attraction and you believe or you think that all you have to do is say, you'll recognize this reference. All you have to do is say, I want a red bike. 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 I'm not saying that you'll never, ever get a red bike. I'm saying that if you decide you want a red bike and you use intentional manifestation, you will put the law of attraction to work for you in a more powerful way and get the results that you are desiring faster and in a way that you can recognize. Because intentional manifestation is not wishing. Intentional manifestation is not dreaming. Intentional manifestation is not begging. Intentional manifestation is consciously producing a definite outcome by using spiritual principle to bring about a greater good, a more abundant life, whatever it is that you want for yourself and for the world. And in Science of Mind and Centers for Spiritual Living, we are all about intentional manifestation because you are the person who is responsible for what you create from whatever opportunities are available to you. You are the person who gets to decide. And it's not magic. So intentional manifestation is both a concept but also a practice that spiritual mind treatment is an example of. So there are different methods for intentional manifestation. Spiritual mind treatment, which I have gone on and on about, and there will be a quiz after. But there are also other practices that are related to intentional manifestation. So affirmations, affirming what you want and bringing in the emotional feeling of how happy you will be or how effective it is or how wonderful it is when that happens, whatever that you are affirming. That is a method related to intentional manifestation. Visualization, not visioning. Visualization. So some of you came and hung out with Ryan on December 30th when Ryan Brown facilitated making a vision board in a very creative way. Or throughout the year, there are different times where we host events where you can come in and create a vision board or a treasure map. Some of you may call it that, where you are visualizing and you have images and sometimes words, but images that really connect with what the life you want to create. Whether that's in your relationships or your career or your family life or in just the experience you have of joy and peace. Whether that's visualizing world peace and a world where people are actually respectful to one another and that we replace racism with relationships that work cross-culturally. You can visualize that, and that would be intentional manifestation. You are intentionally directing the course and the direction of the universe in order to deliver that which is important to you. Also, a method under the umbrella of intentional manifestation is giving and receiving. Some of you want to manifest a CSL Dallas community where we are financially able to provide programming to you and services to you that help you integrate all of what we talk about on Sundays or all of what we experience on Sunday evening or Wednesday evening with meditation. And you give financially to support that. You give of your time. I look around the room and see people who are volunteering as greeters and ushers today, and people who volunteer in hospitality, and people who have volunteered to make our theater ministry magical. And all of that is intentional manifestation. Does that make sense to you? It's not just, not just hanging out. It is hanging out, but with an intention in mind, in order to manifest a healthy community called CSL Dallas. So today, you've got another set of practices or methods that reflect the practice of intentional manifestation. I'm taking a breath because I remember there have been times in the month of January where we are investing in review of all the basics. And there are some years for me when I'm like, I have heard these basics again and again and again. And just about the moment where I'm ready to check out, like, I know this stuff already, or I've heard this stuff so many times. I've taken 6 classes. And then it hits me. This question comes to mind to me, and I'm going to ask you to ask yourself this question. If this feels like a review, if this feels like something you already know, are you able to explain it to someone else? Could I tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, Dr. Petra is in Costa Rica, and my throat is about to give out on me. I have a little touch, it's like laryngitis. Would you come and do the Sunday morning class? And all I want you to do is explain 2 of the principles and 2 of the practices. Thank you, Linda. There are people in the room saying, I'm thinking it, but she said it. I don't ask you that to make you feel bad or to put you on the spot. I am inviting you to ask yourself that question because until we can explain it to someone else in a way that they can understand it, we may not know it as well as we think we do. Now, it is most important that we're able to explain it to ourselves and incorporate it into our own lives, because maybe you, like me, are like, well, I maybe can't say the words, but if they watch how I live, the way I live would be an example of that principle. And then I could tell stories, or I could say, this is what happened to me, and this is how I know this principle is true. And that's really good as well. But the bottom line is, this is not just theory. It's not. And if you only engage in the theory, you're doing yourself a disservice. It's not too hard for you to understand. It's not too complex for you to begin to integrate it into your life. All you have to do is be open to it and pick 1 or 2 things to practice. You can't practice everything at once. So when you practice one thing for a while, one spiritual practice, or you practice studying, which was last week, but studying one principle for 3 months or for a year, and you get that, it's like they're all connected. And if you understand one, you'll understand the others. So I'm just going to highlight a couple more just so that it begins to soak in your brain. And I am going to ask you to choose one thing from today to take into your week. So it might be spiritual mind treatment, or it might be the idea of intentional manifestation, or it might be one of those examples of intentional manifestation. Choose what works for you, but I'm going to add a couple more for you to choose from. And I am warning you, I'm actually going to ask for 3 or 4 people to tell me what you're going to take into your week. And I don't want it to be our practitioners who really know this stuff and have a vow to practice it. And if you're online, same thing. I'm going to ask the question in a little bit, and I want you to put in the chat what one thing are you going to practice or take up this week. So self-awareness. Self-awareness is the foundation for conscious choice. It's the practice that illuminates our alignment with each of the principles. So it actually is one of our practices to commit to self-awareness. Now, here's a great example of what I explained earlier. All of our practices have many different methods under them. So, self-awareness, you may be practicing self-awareness using a method of silence. You might schedule a time to meet with one of our spiritual coaches so that you are able to increase your self-awareness about how you are or are not applying the principles in your life. And there are many other ways, but the goal is to practice self-awareness. Again, this is an example where your methods may overlap different practices and different principles. Because for some of you, when you practice self-awareness, you may do that through mindfulness, right? A mindfulness practice, so where you are observing yourself and becoming more aware of where you are using the principles and where you are not. So we're adding self-awareness to the list. Anybody love this little girl the way I do? She's just so precious. We have to make it real in our lives. When we are very young, we're constantly exploring. We can look at a leaf and be fascinated by it. We can watch what's going on in the yard or the cars going down the street, or we look up at our big brother or big sister, or we look at the adults in our lives and it's like, oh, what is that? Oh, how do I learn to do that? Oh, I want to learn to do that, and I'm going to practice it. To make it real, you have to do something. You can't just hear Dr. Tracy Brown on Sunday morning and go, yeah, Tracy gave me something to think about. Okay, you can do that, but he won't be making it real, right? Don't make it about me. Don't make it about Dr. Petra. Make these principles and these practices come alive in your life. And then the last one I'm going to hit on just briefly today, and Dr. Petra will build on it a little bit more next week, is the practice of gratitude. I feel like I can spend the least amount of time on the practice of gratitude because so many of you already practice gratitude. You make gratitude lists. You have a gratitude journal. You subscribe to the Oprah Winfrey method of experiencing and documenting gratitude. We know to be grateful. And it's easy for most of us to say, oh, I'm grateful for this and that. I'm grateful the sun came up this morning. I'm grateful to celebrate Ernest Holmes' birthday today because he wrote a great book. I'm grateful. But then we forget this last paragraph on the slide. Gratitude accepts with perfect faith that which has not yet manifested, as if it were already here. When I get up in the morning, when I wake up in the morning, almost every morning I say, it's a good day. I'm grateful to be alive, to have the opportunity to experience whatever humanity is going to lay before me. Whatever it is. And sometimes I don't like the individual thing, but I'm grateful because I operate in perfect faith that my good is unfolding. And I get busy redefining what my good looks like and feels like and claim it with gratitude that this change in condition is already complete in universal mind. Now, if you're paying attention and you heard what I just said, then you know that I just went right back to spiritual mind treatment. I claim my good and know that it is already complete, and that is why I can be grateful, because these principles work all the time. So you can use journaling for gratitude. You can use journaling for self-awareness. You can use journaling for so many of the practices in order to experience the principles. My desire, I'll take out all those other words, those parental words, those teacher words, those judgment words. I'll take all of those out, and I'll just stand in what I desire for you. I desire for you that you will choose a principle, or you will choose a practice, and you will choose a method that allows you to live a life you love. So yes, on the count of 3, just yell out, what is it that you are going to take from these ideas today? And really this week, just this week, 1 week, what will you take up? 1, 2, 3. Again? Okay, I'm hearing affirmations, I'm hearing treatment, I heard, give me some others. I heard gratitude, awareness, self-awareness, intentional manifestation. I thought I could hear, but you all really spoke in unison. I don't know that. That is not a common thing in this community. Usually it's pop up, pop up, pop up, pop up, but it was all at once. Any that I didn't hear. Spiritual principles, and looking at all of the spiritual principles and see how you can apply them. This is where we're going. And guess what? We're going there together. We're doing it together. That's why we have spiritual community. That's why we celebrate on Sundays, that we are learning together and using these principles together. I wish for you the most amazing week you could possibly have, and I hope that you will be with us next Sunday as we close out the principles and the practices that are the foundation for Science of Mind and Centers for Spiritual Living.
Thank you, Dr. Brown. Now is the time of today's celebration where we get to show our support for the communities. We ask our greeters to come forward with our abundance baskets. This is a time where we have the opportunity to give generously to the work of CSL Dallas. So all of you, I think, are aware. If you're not, I'll tell you now. CSL Dallas is self-funded. Everything that we do here, we create through our own generous contributions. And so we invite you now to join in making those contributions and helping to solidify the great work of CSL Dallas. Let's begin by affirming our abundance together from the screen. Here we go. This is a time of divine fulfillment. I welcome and accept my abundant good. All doors and channels are open. I know that in this new year, all good now pours forth into CSL Dallas and our community. Our center is a magnet for good and a blessing for everyone. And so it is. There are many ways for you to give. You can text give. There's Venmo, PayPal. You can use the baskets that are being passed around in the sanctuary now. Pick the option that works best for you. If you'd like to make a cash donation, by the way, and receive a tax credit for that, you can fill your name out on an envelope and put that in the basket with your contribution. Dr. Petra has announced that there is, in addition to the 8-week course that's coming up into understanding the Old Testament from a metaphysical point of view, she will be offering an additional workshop. For those who register for the Old Testament class or that course, there is a way now to register to go even deeper than before. Since there's so much ground to cover, this is a great opportunity to get your questions answered and to unpack some of history's greatest stories from a new thought perspective. This is Tuesdays, February 6th from 7 to 9:30 p.m. As always, you can see about this at csldallas.org to look further into that opportunity. Also, here is an opportunity to use spiritual truth to heal your body. In this first of 4 sessions offered in 2024, we focus on the awareness, learning, growth, and practice that is available to us by consciously engaging with our pain and with our dis-ease. In this first session, we explore the mind-to-body connection and have exercises that will help you become more aware of your own connection. This is on a love offering basis, and it's happening Thursday, February 15th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. And also, this month, or coming up in February, you can honor your partnership with the amazing Valentine's Day ritual. This is led by Dr. Petra and Reverend Karen. It's a renewal of love in a special time, and it's a time to connect with your partner. It's followed up with a champagne reception, and this is sure to be a night you will hold dear in your hearts for many years to come. It's $50 a couple, so we need to know in advance if you want to participate. It's in person only, and you do have to register by February 10th, 2/10/24. That gives you time to find somebody if you don't have anybody yet. So that's happening February 14th, Valentine's Day, 5:30 to 7 p.m. Also, as we say every week, please make sure that you take the opportunity to join our practitioners. Let them support you in your journey, in your spiritual experience. You can do that today here after the celebration on campus in the Peace Room, which is right across the breezeway, and just follow the double doors, and someone will be there to greet you and direct you towards one of the spiritual coaches. Also online via Zoom, there will be a link in the chat box coming up. Take advantage of our spiritual coaches who do understand spiritual mind treatment, as Dr. Brown talked about today. Put that into practice today. Let them bestow that gift upon you and give you that great feeling heading out into your week today. We also have amazing new artwork on display from Victoria Eaglebear. That's located in our Artist Corner, also across the breezeway. Make a left in Pankey Hall and you'll see the Artist Corner there. And want you to stop by and say hello and see that beautiful artwork. So that's about it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Again, in person and online. It's wonderful to be together. And we're going to close our time together one last time with our amazing music team. Thank you, everyone.